What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the DubsIn4 Podcast. This is episode 11. Today is September 30th, 2018, and today we are going to be talking about the first game of Warriors preseason basketball. I'm sorry, I lied to you guys. Last week I said that I'm going to be talking about Jimmy Butler, and last week I did the 2-in-1 of the division wrap-up series. And, I concluded that because I expected Jimmy Butler to be traded this week, and that, in fact, did not happen. We had a lot of reports saying that they wanted to move him, by Monday or Tuesday really early on because they didn't want him to miss training camp. They didn't want to, drag this situation out longer than it had to be. So they wanted, to kind of get this moving, and that's what I thought they were going to do. But they ended up not trading Jimmy this week. Seems like they're asking for a lot for him. They're looking for, good veterans as well as young players, draft picks, things like that. And as well as cap relief as well. They're looking to move Gorgui Dieng's contract along with a Jimmy Butler deal, which that is very, very steep price, and not a lot of the interested teams are going to be willing to give up that much. Teams like the Heat just simply don't have enough assets to make a deal like that work. Teams like, even like the Nets and the Clippers and the other team that he wanted to go to, which was somewhere. Oh yeah, the Knicks, duh. But yeah, pretty much all these interested teams didn't really have the assets or the need or the desire to make a deal for Jimmy Butler when a lot of them feel like they can sign him in free agency next summer. So it's just kind of a really interesting situation. I'm not really sure what to make of it. Hopefully he does get dealt relatively soon. It seems like they're going to need to move him. He has no desire to continue to play with the Timberwolves. I know that Thibodeau doesn't want to, but realistically, I feel like they have to make a move. The owner wants them to, and Jimmy just doesn't seem like he wants to come in and play. So if he's not going to come in, they may as well move him, get what they can for him before he inevitably leaves next summer in free agency. So we will have to see what happens there. But we're going to bookmark that Jimmy Butler thing and come back to it when he does end up getting traded. But we'll give an episode to that. This week, though, we're going to be focusing on the Warriors' first game of preseason. I've been talking a lot about the rest of the NBA just because the Warriors haven't really done much this summer. They had their first, thing in free agency. Their big splash was DeMarcus Cousins. We talked about that. We talked about all their other offseason moves. But we haven't really talked about the Warriors specifically in a while, and this is the DubsIn4 Podcast, so we're going to be talking about them today. I decided I'm just going to go over the box score and kind of how everybody played in the opening game. Their loss to the Timberwolves, 114-110, first game of the preseason. I'm just going to be talking about that today. Maybe we'll go into a little miscellaneous stuff later if I feel like we have time for that, but first of all, we're just going to be talking about this. So, the player of the game was definitely Steph Curry. Pretty much their big four, because Boogie's hurt, so obviously he didn't play. But Green, Durant, Curry, and Thompson all played 20 minutes, and Steph Curry had 21 points on 5 for 9 shooting from 3, 7-11 from the field, 2 for 2 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. That's nice stuff. 21 points in 20 minutes is nothing to laugh at. Steph Curry looks like he's in mid-season form already. Had a couple really, really nice threes early on in the game. He hit probably, I think it was 4 in the first quarter or something like that. He had 5 for the game. So, Steph played really, really well. So did Klay Thompson. 3 for 4 from 3, 7 for 13 from the field. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, steal, and a block. 17 points. Klay played, just as well as he always does. The man's a machine. Had some nice passes from Curry. He had a nice assist himself as well, so that was pretty fun to watch. Pretty much the Warriors are already clicking, looking like they are just stepping right into it. I can't wait to see what it looks like once we finally get Boogie into the offense. But moving on. Kevin Durant had 16 points on 6 for 9 shooting from the field, 2 for 3 from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. 20 minutes, that's about as productive as you can get. All three of them in 20 minutes, 16, 21, and 17 points for their big offensive three. That was really nice to see. They've already played years together now, 2 years together. So I feel like this is the year where they all have, their chemistry's already rolling. They know how to play with each other at this point. They know it really well. So it's just going to be really fun to watch this season. And once Boogie enters the lineup, there will be another adjustment period, but I think it'll be great. Draymond Green had just 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3-point range, but 4 rebounds, 8 assists, and a block. So yeah, he did a really good job passing the ball. 5 fouls though. Not a great 20 minutes for Draymond, but yeah, the 8 assists in 20 minutes is the big number there. Other than that, didn't do great scoring wise. 5 fouls isn't amazing, but he had plus minus of 7, which is nice. Good for them. I believe that's the highest on the team. Yeah, looks like it is. So, yeah, Draymond played pretty well. Damian Jones having his first, I believe he started before, but whatever. It's preseason. Damian Jones in 12 minutes had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Shot 2 for 2 from the field. He looked okay. Nothing really insane from him. We didn't see too much, just 12 minutes, but yeah. That's pretty encouraging start for Damian Jones. We'll have to see if he ends up winning that starting center job. It's going to be between him, Bell, and Looney, looks like. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But he got the starting nod in their first game. The Warriors are going to spend the preseason looking at what they have at center, seeing who is going to deserve that job. And speaking of deserving that job, Jordan Bell played like he does. 10 points with 7 rebounds and assist, 1 block, shooting 4 for 7 from the floor. He had a nice mid-range jumper. I believe it was about a 16-footer early on. Him and Looney both had nice mid-range Js. So if he can develop that mid-range stroke, he's going to be even more deadly this year. Coming into his sophomore season, Bell's looking like he's going to be set up to have a really nice year. Yeah, he can play either power forward or center. We'll see if he ends up winning that center job. If not, he'll be great off the bench. But yeah, Jordan Bell had a nice game. Other than that, I'm just taking a look here. Looney, as I mentioned, he had 7 points, 3 rebounds, and assist, 3 for 6 from the floor. Yeah, he had one of those nice jumpers as well. Pretty similar game to Bell. Yeah, they both played well. They're competing for that starting center position. Side note, ESPN has Kevon Looney listed as a small forward. Not sure why that would be, because he is definitely not one of those. I'm not going to talk about everybody here. Other than that, Iguodala played only 10 minutes, 4 points, nothing really there. Jacob Evans, here we go, 4 points in 16 minutes, 2 for 6 from the floor, missed all 3 of his 3-pointers, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. Not bad. Rookie's first game. We'll see what he can do. He was minus 18 on the floor, which is not great. But yeah, they're just going to keep giving him some minutes. He'll get used to it. As far as first games go, it wasn't disastrous, but it certainly wasn't the best from Jacob Evans there. Looking at their other developmental guys here, Tyler Ulis with 2 points in 9 minutes with 4 rebounds and an assist. I'm hoping Ulis makes the team. I don't think I've talked about this yet. They did pick up Tyler Ulis for training camp, an Exhibit 10 contract. I've always liked his game a lot. I liked him during his time with the Suns. I felt like he's been, an effective young point guard that's kind of been stuck in a bad situation in Phoenix. So hopefully he'll be able to latch with the Warriors and figure out, maybe get a last roster spot if McCaw does not return, which is another scenario. But if McCaw does not return, I would hope to see Ulis snag one of those spots. Even if we do bring McCaw back, we still will have another spot for Ulis, or maybe on a 2-way deal. I don't know if he would accept a 2-way contract. He might be able to get a full NBA contract from another team, especially if he plays well during preseason. But if we can get him on a 2-way, that would be ideal, or giving him one of our last roster spots, that would be nice. I do hope he makes the team. When the Suns released him a couple months ago, I was hoping the Warriors would pick him up, and they did. So that's exciting for me. I like Ulis a lot, so yeah. But in 9 minutes, he had 2 points. Didn't really shoot a lot. He showed a couple flashes, but we'll have to see. Just one game. We'll have to see how he plays down the stretch a little bit more. But, yeah, I do like Ulis a lot. Other than that, nothing really here. Alfonso McKinney didn't score. Daniel House didn't score. Kendrick Nunn had 2 points, shooting 1 for 4 in 11 minutes. Minus 14 on the floor, not great from him. Marcus Derrickson did have 10, though. There's a bigger one. Marcus Derrickson, 10 points, 4 for 10 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. 3 rebounds, 1 turnover, 2 fouls. That's not bad. Yeah, he was one of their guys that they brought in for preseason as well. He has a chance to get that last two-way spot as well. We'll have to see. That last two-way spot will be between Derrickson, McKinney, House, Ulis, and Nunn, probably. I think there's probably 5 of those guys. And I think, depending on how the McCaw situation goes, 2 of them will probably make the team, on one of them as a two-way and one of them as a roster spot. Depends on if they fill that last roster spot or not. There were reports a couple months ago about them keeping only 14 players on the roster instead of 15. But if they like these guys enough and they bring back McCaw, we could end up with one of them on the roster, one as a two-way, and McCaw. Or if McCaw doesn't come back, we could get 2 of them on the roster and 1 on the two-way, if that makes any sense to you guys. But yeah, so yeah, this game, Warriors lost, doesn't matter. The outcome doesn't really matter at all. Just matters how certain players play. So the recap here was Warriors, their all-stars looked really well, clicked really well already. Looked like they're in mid-season form. No rust there. Curry, Thompson, Durant, Green all played really well. Other than that, some of their young guys showed a couple flashes. Jordan Bell, Kevon Looney both played nice games. Marcus Derrickson played well also. Let's see, Sean Livingston had 6 points on 2 for 3 shooting in 9 minutes. That's good for him. Iguodala was all right in limited minutes. Quinn Cook in 19 minutes shot 2 for 8 with 5 assists, 2 boards, 5 points. Not a great game from Cook. The 5 assists, though, is good. But other than that, so good game from Cook there in the assists, but other than that, not really. Taking a look at this box score here. Yeah, other than that, Jerebko didn't score, missed all 3 of his shot attempts, but had 3 rebounds and 1 assist. That's okay from Jerebko, but whatever. Warriors looks really, really nice. Mostly their starters. Their bench guys, we'll have to see whatever decision they make with those last couple roster spots. I'm sure it'll be the right choice. I guess that's going to wrap up that game thing. I guess we'll talk about McCaw for a second here. We're gonna go into McCaw's situation a little bit. So he's still apparently holding out on his contract. The Warriors have offered him a qualifying offer. It's been sitting on the table since free agency began. McCaw has decided to wait it out, see if he gets any other offers from another team. But so far that has not happened. He has not signed any other offer sheets, has not signed the Warriors offer sheet, and he's holding out. Not really sure what the point of that is, because it seems to me like he is going to have to take a minimum deal if he wants to play basketball this year. The Warriors deal, I believe, is slightly more than the minimum. I could be totally wrong on that. But yeah, he's not going to... The situation that McCaw is in right now, he is betting on himself, and he's betting on some other team to realize that they need wing help during training camp and stuff. Because if another team has an injury to a player, injury to one of their small forwards or shooting guards, or realizes that they don't like what they have at shooting guard, then they could potentially bring in McCaw. I mean, there's a lot of other guys on the market too that would take precedence, and the fact that he is still restricted would hinder that a little bit. But I believe the qualifying offer expires tomorrow. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I believe the Warriors can pull it on October 1st, and I'm not really sure what that means. But it seems like they've been working to get him back. I know that Bob Myers has said multiple times that he does want McCaw back on the team. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening there, whether he's going to take this minimum deal or if he's going to, if the Niners are going to pull it and get another restructured deal and he'll be restricted again next summer. I believe that's how it works. I Don't quote me on this, but if they pull the qualifying offer and sign him again, then I believe he becomes restricted again for next year. That could be totally fake. But that would be the incentive there for him to sign this qualifying offer like immediately. But other than that, like, he needs to kind of make a choice here. Whether or not he wants to come play for the Warriors, it doesn't seem like he has a burning desire to win another ring this year. It seems like he's going for the money. He's had 2 rings to begin his career, which is something that really not many other players can claim that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see just what happens with McCaw. We do want him back on the team. I think it would be nice. He's a nice young player. He's a young prospect. He had a really nice rookie season. Last year he took a bit of a step back, sophomore slump, but we'll have to see what he brings to the table in year 3. Hopefully he does make improvements. I would like to see him back, probably on like a 2-year deal. A 2-year deal would probably be the best thing for them. Best thing for both sides, I would think, to bring him in on a 2-year contract and see what kind of improvements he makes. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's episode. Kind of got redundant there at the end. Sorry about it. But yeah, that's it for today's episode of the DubsIn4 Podcast. This was episode 11. If Jimmy Butler trade does happen this week, that'll be the focus of next week. If not, we'll have something else to talk about. Probably some of these other preseason games, stuff going on around the league. So anyway, this has been DubsIn4 Podcast, and I'll see you guys next week.